Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind. Ooh, Joe Biden's in some trouble. This guy just can't catch a frickin' break. I'd feel bad for him if it wasn't completely glorious and deserved. It seems as though the leftist progressive hegemony that has taken control over the last, let's call it 2 decades, is crumbling before our very eyes. Who knew? All we needed to save the world from communism was these two guys. Joe Biden and Justin Trudeau, to be in office at the same time, enacting their idiotic Keynesian political theories, socialist policies, and spending. All we needed was for the West to be subjected to this kind of leadership for the last 3 years. Nothing else could be more convincing as to why we should never vote for these empty promises, fake politician, all their propaganda and their phony promises and phony vote-grabbing lies. Folks, it is the end. It is the end of Joe Biden. I choose to believe that. I refuse to believe absolutely anything else. You know, how can this guy possibly win in 2024 if there hasn't been a good or a positive Joe Biden story since like 2021 or something? I don't know, since the infrastructure bill. It's like literally the only thing that Democrats celebrate. How can you possibly win if that's the case? I don't know. It's not looking so good to me. If I was a Democrat, I'd be panicking beyond belief. And speaking of bad headlines for Joe, well, he's got like, I don't know, like 5 or 6 of them just yesterday. So that's pretty much the topic of this video. Everything bad going on for Sleepy Creepy Piss Pants Joe. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, so here's the first headline. Joe Biden can't get a win on any freaking issue, and one issue that's becoming, I'd argue, his kryptonite, well, it's the southern border, migration. It turns out that now even Democrats are joining with Republicans to block Biden's use of federal land to house migrants. A narrow Republican majority in the House has managed to attract a growing number of Democrats to oppose a Biden administration initiative to house illegal migrants on federal lands. On Friday, Breitbart News reported that 6 Democrats joined Republicans to prevent Joe Biden from turning federal lands into migrant camps for tens of thousands of illegal aliens who have been released into the United States interior. The outlet added, joining House Republicans to pass legislation were Representatives Henry Cuellar, Don Davis, Jared Golden, Vicente Gonzalez Jr., Mary Peltola, and Representative Mary Gluesenkamp-Perez. Now, I find one thing really interesting about the 6 Democrats who joined with Republicans here. If you'll notice, there's 2 Democrats from Texas, and almost every name listed is Hispanic. Every name except for Don Davis and Jared Golden. And, well, Democrat Representative Don Davis, even him, well, not exactly a straight white male. So a couple things here. Firstly, the whole Republicans are anti-immigrant narrative, complete bogus. The whole Republicans are racist and just want to keep brown people out of the country. Well, it turns out that that narrative is complete bogus considering 6, or rather 5, minority Democrats just voted with Republicans against Joe Biden's ridiculous plan. Joe Biden's plan is so bad that Latino Democrats are saying, no way, Jose. Not exactly a good look, not exactly a strong showing, but totally expected. Joe Biden is becoming so deeply unpopular. So many people are jumping ship as the weeks and days go by here. One after another, people are just done. Gone forever, never to return. People have had enough with Joe Biden's incompetent policies, and that includes Democrats. That includes members of his own party, and it includes the voters themselves. In fact, building on the issue of immigration and the issue of, well, Democrat frustration, loyal, lifelong Democrat voters are also pissed and turning on Joe with this particular issue. Take a look at this headline. Quote, if you think you're going to have a peaceful Democratic convention while our people are starving, stay tuned.
For them, you're going to have the same office for us.
That's right.
You don't hear any other community talking this plural talk.
That's right.
They strictly speak for themselves.
You got to.
The Chinese in Chinatown speak for Chinese, right?
That's right.
The Greeks in Greektown speak for Greeks.
That's right.
The Hispanics in Little Village speak for Hispanics.
That's right.
Rightfully so. And black people speak for black people.
Oh, yes, sir.
Black Americans.
Good.
We're not African American. We're not people of color. We're not black and brown, minority,
That's right.
BIPOC, none of that.
None of that.
People, no, none of that. This is about our people demanding the resources, just as you're giving these people, these newcomers who are walking into this
That's
country.
right. You were right. Thank
And
you.
sister's correct. How do you take a new group of people that have paid no taxes, can't vote, and you put them in front of the voters?
I'm not going to pay them no damn taxes.
And so we say this to you, Mayor, Governor, President. If you think that they're that powerful that you have to acquiesce and answer to them over us, then you tell them to vote for you in these next elections.
That's right.
You tell them to support your Democratic National Convention. And we're going to show you how we feel about the Democratic National
Turn
Convention.
it up.
Thank you.
If you think you're going to have a peaceful Democratic National Convention in the city of Chicago while our people are starving,
That's right.
stay tuned.
That was a message from voters at a Chicago City Hall press conference on the issue of migration. People are done, and there's a warning being sent to the Democrat Party currently, and it's being sent by working class voters. And honestly, working class people are probably the perfect messengers, the perfect vessel for this specific message. After decades upon decades of the Democrat Party being the party of the working class, I think regular people are starting to finally wake up and realize that either things have shifted or the entire time it's been one big frickin' scam. And boy, is the migration issue opening people's eyes. The Democrat Party supposedly cares for the working people, so what are they doing? What's their policy proposal? Open border and importing illegal workers, then using your money, working class people's money, as well as wealthy people's money, taxpayer dollars, to fund it all and house them on federal land so they can stay here and keep working, applying downward pressure on your jobs, creating artificial overinflated demand for housing, making housing less affordable and less available for regular working class people. In general, just bad policy, stupid policy that doesn't benefit working class people, but rather sabotages their standard of living. And it seems like people are finally waking up. It's an absolutely beautiful thing. Nobody's falling for any of it. Nobody's falling for the immigration scam, and definitely nobody's falling for the Bidenomics scam. Bidenomics. The greatest economic recovery since, well, ever. That's what the Democrats tell you, right? So incredibly stupid. Let's just contrast Bidenomic messaging when it comes to economic numbers and, well, real economic numbers.
With less than 1 year until the 2024 presidential election, Democrats are now ditching the term Bidenomics as the economy under Biden faces increased criticism. Take a look at these numbers. Since the president took office, consumer prices are up better than 17%. Gasoline prices up better than 35%. Credit card debt is up better than 40%. Wages, meanwhile, are down nearly 3%. The Wall Street Journal writes the president continues to boast about jobs because it paints a better picture for him, despite Americans caring more about inflation and prices at the cash register. They're still up above 3%.
An absolute farce, and I think at this point the Democrats have completely given up on the term. For a while there, Bidenomics seemed like it was the key. Building on Reaganomics, they wanted to give Joe Biden a narrative as an economic beast of a politician, or president. Kind of hard to say, but yep, president. Well, it's fallen completely flat. And now even people from Joe Biden's own hometown in Scranton, Pennsylvania, well, even they are pretty much done.
My opinion is he praises here, but I don't think he actually grew up here technically, so he uses that as that he cares about us.
Tougher for people, So how could he be seeing it through our eyes?
I'm a registered Democrat, but I'm not happy.
I think he's the worst president we ever had, to be honest with you. But no, I'm not. This economy sucks. Everything's going up except paychecks. I just think the economy sucks. Ever since Biden got in.
It's not working, folks. Nobody is buying it. Absolutely nobody is buying it. Bidenomics, not working. Any messaging campaign that this administration attempts to push forward fails. Like I told you, they haven't had a win in the media for a very, very long time, and it's not without trying. The mainstream media has been working overtime to attempt to give them artificial, fraudulent wins. It just isn't landing with the American public. Nothing is landing with the American public. And in swing states all over the nation, it seems as though there's a very clear narrative.
Who do you think is going to win this election?
Trump.
What about you, sir?
Trump.
Yep. And what about you, sir?
Donald Trump.
Ditto.
Ditto? What about you?
Same.
You think Donald Trump's going to win? What about
Yes, sir. I think so, too.
So, of course, we're in Georgia, and it's pretty much Trump country, so I'm not surprised that you got a lot of folks that feel like Donald Trump is going to win.
Georgia voters weigh in, and it seems as though the Democrats are in a very, very rough spot in some of the most important states and just in general in the election, and that's with good reason. Joe Biden, as a politician, his political stock is collapsing the fastest I think I've ever witnessed. Anyways, that's pretty much the video for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe. Thanks for watching, friends, and I will see you on the next one.